problem solver.
Look at that. Look at that. I'm a problem solver.
Dom, we need you to give us that classic. We need that classic Domislive intro right now.
Yeah, I'll do that. All right. So
One time
Hey,
for the
what's up, fans? We gotta talk about this.
I'm not getting that hype.
All
All
right,
Let's
so
go.
we got a lot to dig into here.
We gotta talk about it.
So anyway, X community, you know, we see the issues that are going on, the gripes you guys have, and I just wanted to bring Cleo to the community. She is here. She's going to answer questions, and I think we're gonna have a great day today. Crown, you have any questions you want to ask?
Sure, yeah, I kind of wanted to start off. So basically, are kind of talking a lot about this, like behind the scenes, kind of like what we want to see kind of moving
Yes.
forward. And I wanted to speak kind of on Get Out of My Head. That's something that has been kind of on my mind for a long time because, in my opinion, the release and just kind of the whole situation surrounding that song in particular kind of exemplifies everything that the general community kind of has like issues with in particular in terms of X's music, X's legacy, and all that type of stuff. For example, the fact that the song was repackaged and an X was taken off as the main artist and was replaced as the featured artist. That's something that a lot of fans had a lot of issues with, that we didn't really find particularly appealing to X because it was a song that he had finished completely and had leaked himself and had released himself, back in 2017. Is it possible moving forward in the future, if songs can be released without touches towards them, or if these songs and if this music in the future is going to be released with edits to them, like maybe the beat is changed, or maybe there's a feature added, or maybe something about the song is changed? If it's a previously released song, we want the song to be released as it originally was, and then we'd be cool with like remixes and edits and all that stuff. Like,
Our goal is always to keep everything that he has out already without anyone on them or whatever. We're always trying to keep those things as is. However, once in a blue moon, when you have somebody like Wayne, that's like a huge artist, and from my time anyways, he's a legend, wanting to do something.
Yeah,
And he's a
looked up
huge
to him.
inspiration to Ja as well, that reached out and like a song in particular. To me, we as a team felt as though that song didn't get as much love and attention. So we figured that this would have been a bigger play for it. So that was our thought process with that particular song. But typically we try not to mess with anything that he has, out already.
In Crown, the tough part with when there's agreements between artists, and I'm speaking just from like my music industry background side. It's like when you have agreements between artists, you can have a lot of discussions on like, okay, well, if you get on this song, then we'll swap and you guys get on something. But after that point, like when you're talking about the promotion or the lack thereof, like
always remember
agree.
that Ja is an independent artist. So what he does is, what do you call it?
Yeah, there's not an entire building.
Yeah, there's not an entire, like, he's not like signed to a label. So you're never gonna see these big promotions. I mean, these that other artists get.
Promotion is like out of their pocket, really.
For sure, yeah, of course, I completely understand that.
I try to do like billboards and as much as I can because it's out of pocket expense, and that's why a lot of times when we see the milking comments, I'm not sure how that falls into play, because everything that we're putting out right now is all stuff that Ja had already been paid for. It's just me basically trying to, fulfill an obligation that he had prior to him passing. So that's something that you guys got to keep in consideration too, that it's hard for us to do these big promo without any big backing behind us.
And I completely agree, yeah.
Okay, next question.
Okay, so I've only gotten one from somebody so far. Trammy asks, he's saying how hard is it going to be with like clearing samples for some songs in the future? Like we know that a lot of X's old music has a lot of samples, has a lot of like uses of music from different artists, and he wants to know like, are there any ones in the pipeline that you can tell us about, or like what's the process behind getting these samples, whether they be easy to get or difficult to get?
Well, it is hard because a lot of those songs are older songs, and we just don't have the stems to them anymore, and so we can't get stuff. John, that's more of a your
yeah,
thing.
well,
we can't get it.
Yeah, like
we can't find a producer some songs.
Yeah, the
or
technical, and the verbiage sometimes, like even when we know who the sample is, it's such a case by case thing. Like, you know, for example, if you know he had sampled an artist who was alive in the 90s, but they've since passed, it's like, well, who is the executor of that estate? What are their thoughts on X?
If they're even going to allow it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, to make a long answer short, yes, it's really hard. But at the same time, it's like, I think both, like with everyone involved, I know me, Cleo, and Solomon particularly, like we've always felt that like re-releasing his older stuff in the exact way that he had released it originally, whether it's the track list or the chronological order that he released stuff in, the mix, everything about it, no one wants to change any of that stuff. The only time that any of those changes have had to been made are when, you know, we all come to an agreement that like this song should be heard by the world, but this one person who doesn't want to clear the sample is getting in the way of that. So what do we do? And that's a really tough situation, right? Because you know, if, for example, the singer of Ecstasy doesn't want to clear it, but we do believe that that song is a special song that the fans should be able to hear, and it's, you know, across all platforms, then we have to make the tough decision to change something, which none of us want to do. I mean, the goal is always to clear everything in its original state, but if someone gets in the way of a song coming out, because
then our hands are tied.
Yeah, and that could be because their feelings about him as an artist, or you know, they have this just, you know, insane, ridiculous ask for what they would want, whether they want to control 100% of the song, which is just unfair in every regard. And so those are the situations that, you know,
or a lot of times labels don't want to clear stuff because of the backlash surrounding his name. Like it's believe it or not, it's a lot of technical stuff behind the scenes that you guys have no clue about. That it's, you know, it's not as easy as it seems.
And so then it's the question of, do we, you know, just forget about ever releasing that song at all, or do you undergo the tough process of changing something? And that was,
so we're like always like in a no-win situation, because we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. Like we tried to do the School Globes with Lil Nas X, and then we got bashed.
The community complained about that.
Yeah, they complained about it, and then we were like, okay, oh shit, they don't want this, and then we take it off, and then everybody's like, why didn't you put it there? You know what I'm saying? And when are we getting it? I saw a lot of that today in the Q&A that we did earlier, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's like so hard to know what to do. You know what I mean?
Of course. I mean, yeah, that's something that we've noticed. I mean, part of the reason that we were selected is because we fundamentally disagreed with that, getting him, you know, taken off. Like nobody here wants that, and we kind of noticed that in the community, people tend to flip flop on ideas, and they kind of tend to
they groupthink a lot.
They groupthink, and it's all very reactionary. You know, at first everybody was saying, nah, screw Lil Nas X, we don't want him. He never knew X. He's gay. He's XYZ. They just came up with every awful reason to not have him on the song and not have the song released. And then now, like over a year later, now everybody's clamoring for that song to get released. Everybody wants it on the documentary. Everybody wants it to drop. Everybody wants Lil Nas X on it. And now it's just kind of like this unfortunate situation where it seems like people are just constantly moving back and forth on what they want.
You know what?
I'm always in a hot seat. Always. You know, it's even more so than anyone else.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Hold on, Ox, you have any questions, Ox?
Just a quick comment on that. Like when you say the fans are flip-flopping, I just want to speak on that because in my experience with the internet and Instagram, Twitter, whatever, when people see something they like, they don't really want to comment. When they see something they don't like, that's when they love to comment. Because people are more passionate about hating something than they are loving something. So, you know, I don't know if it's fans flip-flopping or if it's just people that are upset want to comment, and people that are happy with what's going on they just like it and then move on.
They're
They're
want to
not,
stay silent, right?
There
they're
was
not
a
as
hate.
vocal.
Well, hold on. Let me say this. There was a hate train that was going on, and they were a
Yeah.
lot of people were jumping on the hate train, and it was going and going, and people were jumping on it. So
Right.
that was part of that, and like Cleo said, I was one of those people that even went to her and said, "Hey, I know they're not really feeling this so much," and
Yeah.
they removed it. And all of a sudden, we see people saying, "Wow, that was the best song on the album. Why did you guys remove it?"
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Situation.
Hey, Cleo, I want to. I don't want to ask you this, but I just want to make.
Mhm.
I just want to say something.
ahead.
I think the community needs more X and Ski. Like, if there's like any verses or whatever, I'm not telling you to answer this question. I think a lot of us would love to see X and Ski on another song.
Yeah. And if I can add to that, if that's possible, we
Because
know
I know
about
verses are very limited. I totally understand that.
for sure. And if I can add to that, obviously we know about Fortnite. We wanted to kind of get some information, or what kind of information you guys have on that song, because we know that it was originally Ski's song. It was supposed to be on his album, and he said for various reasons that it was taken off. And then eventually a version of that song had leaked a while back with Tory taking that song and him using that song. We want to know if that was
Well,
if
hold
he
on, wait,
had
let me say this. There's certain legal things that Cleo may not be able to ask and answer,
sure,
and this is one of those things she doesn't have to answer that.
That's a lie.
You're talking about which song are you guys talking about?
Fortnite.
Well,
It was something that Tory had hopped on.
Where
Steve is saying that it was originally him
wait
and Josh.
yeah where
That's
did
not true.
where did the idea that Ski had anything to do with that song come from?
I believe there was somebody mentioned, I'm not sure exactly where it came from, but there was a rumor that Ski and X had a song together called Fortnite. And
Listen,
that,
if you don't see anything coming from the team, don't believe it. That's one thing an issue that I'm having with a lot of
community.
The community. Like, they are like, come to me, oh, Cleo, I heard so and so, and I'm like, well, did you see us post it? If you don't see us posting something and promoting it, chances are it's not true. As far as that song goes, that is definitely not true.
Okay. And then
publicly, when I guess they were asking about a Ski and X song, and at that point they were going through their drama, and he said he wasn't doing anything else with Ski Mask, and that was the end of that. And so he ended up, he passed. And then for me, I figured that would be something that you guys would want to see. We just weren't able to make it happen, because when we were doing constructing the album, I reached out to Ski, and at that point he was on tour and doing a number of things, and I'm pretty sure he would have got around to it, but he just didn't get around to it on time, and I had to turn in the album by a certain point, and so that's why that didn't happen. But that's still all my intention, to make sure that I try to give something with Ski and X, because that's where it all started.
Yeah,
for sure.
Community wants that. Community wants that.
Absolutely.
Hey, to my mods, do you guys have any questions you want to ask or anything? Anyone? Any mod? TBD. There you go, TBD.
I don't know if I have a question.
Hold on. Let TBD ask the question.
You might not be able to answer this, and if you can't, that's fine. But is it possible that you can let us know what's gonna happen with the Yes Indeed verse that Kanye was given, or?
Okay, so legally, once you do a swap with someone, that's it.
Okay.
Legally. So Kanye wanted that verse, and so now he owns it. And he did something for us, we did something for him, and that was a swap legally. So that's out of our hands where that's concerned.
That's one thing, like, a lot of fans have to learn about the music industry.
The industry.
It's tricky. It can be very tricky.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe we can do a forum explaining a little bit more about what the industry is like and behind the scenes stuff, because maybe if people understand, or a lot of them are young kids, they don't understand business, they don't understand any of those things, and so that's why I think that they're so opinionated on a lot of the things that we do, not knowing that, hey, we have no choice. This is
hands are tied.
Your hands are tied.
Okay, FWT, you were gonna ask something?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a question per se. I just wanted to say that I think you guys have mostly done a fine job so far, and like you said, we're dealing with a lot of kids who, obviously they're very angry, very sad. They just lost their idol. I think I think as the years go by, people will look back and realize that, you know, you did a good job with. You were dealt a bad hand, and you've done a good job with.
Yeah, I want to add to that. I want to say that I think X's team did a great job with what they were left with.
I completely agree. Yeah. I think they've done.
Hey, but check this out, right? But check this out. So with Skins, I just wanted to add this. We got bashed. Oh, these are unfinished songs. Blah 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 blah.
That's because false information was out there.
But I'm like 17. But 17 was short while he was alive. He put out, when we released Bad, we put out the voice memo of him saying, "Yo, this album is gonna be short. It's gonna be like 1 minute." We put that out so people can see like this is intent. And so with that one, I didn't mess with it. I didn't put a bunch of features. I kind of left it as is. I got roasted for that. The team got roasted for that. So okay, Bad Vibes Forever. I'm like, okay, I don't want to put out a bunch of songs that they're gonna say it's unfinished. So hey, let me, you know, bring in people that I know for sure that he would have worked with, or people that he's worked with in the past. And you know, also with Ja, I realized he's always big on sharing energy and trying to put on someone that he feels have some type of talent to give them a spotlight, you know, so they can, you know, grow and possibly take care of their families and stuff like that. So we decided to take a page out of his book and add, you know, people that we felt needed that chance, or, you know, given the opportunity or whatever. And we still got roasted for that. And I'm like, but Ja, you know, if you notice on, hi, how are you? Good. Ja, if you notice on other albums, you know, he put Mad Ox and Santana,
guys he met at the studio.
Guys he met at the studio that, you know, they didn't have the platform as yet, but he felt like sharing the energy was important. And then for us, we're like, okay, well, let's do the same thing with this album, and then we get roasted for it. So I'm just like, you're in a no-win situation. You know what I mean?
Of course, and yeah, I mean, I think that's something that a lot of fans kind of overlook, is that with 17 there was one feature, Trippie Redd. In Skins there was one feature, Kanye. You know, in Question Mark there was a bunch of features, and it was people that X, you know, wanted to share that energy with. And in Bad Vibes Forever, the exact same thing happened. It was a bunch of features with people that X knew personally, that he wanted to work with in the future, that he had already worked with, you know, and it was just people that he wanted to share that type of energy with. And I think that's something that a lot of fans overlook and that they take for granted, is that for the most part, from what I can tell and from what I've heard, you know, all of the music, it is basically, I mean, Bad Vibes Forever is the parallel to Question Mark. 17 is the parallel to Skins. They're very, very similar projects towards each other in terms of energy and style and how they're constructed.
Absolutely.
And so I've got a question from LFC Bones. He wants to ask his question now. He says, what music videos are being planned from Bad Vibes Forever? He knows that Solomon mentioned behind the scenes that they're planning to release a few more music videos, and he wants to know if you guys like already decided which ones are going to be released in the future, and if you guys haven't yet, maybe us right here, right now can.
Well, that's why we're here, because that's why we're here. You know, we've been making our own plans, and I'm 40 years old, and I am not of this culture. You know, a lot of you think, but I think it's cool. Definitely not cool to you guys, and so, you know, that's why I'm like, I need to connect with you guys more. I need to make sure that you guys are involved, and you guys can kind of tell me and steer me, you know, the way to go, what you guys want to see, and that's why we decided to do, you know, this chat, because it's important for me to connect with you guys and know what exactly you guys would like to see from us.
Absolutely. And so we talked behind the scenes a little bit. We talked in our own personal groups and everything. And the 8 of us talking, we kind of decided that there was 3 main ones that we really wanted to see going forward for Bad Vibes Forever. We wanted to see X Bitch, Triumph, and It's All Fading to Black. And we kind of talked about how we wanted to all see those in some form or another, not entirely, but in some form or another animated, because we felt that animated,
you know the crazy thing is, I thought about doing an animation, and I'm like, oh, I'm probably gonna get roasted for that because I did that with Bad.
Is animation the way though? Like,
I think,
do people really love animation versus
video? Should we do like a vote?
I think there should be a poll.
Sure. Absolutely, yeah. In terms
of, feel that way, and then you majority of the cult doesn't feel that way, and then
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
Me personally, because I feel like some people may not like animation as much. I'm one of those people, but I would have to look and see like what the whole community wants versus
the thing
what
is,
I
it's trying
want.
to do a video with him being in it, and how do we
Right.
approach that?
Yeah,
You know what I
people
mean?
had
Hey,
ideas. Somebody brought up a really good idea of like incorporating both. Like they said that they wanted to do it like sort of how Juice's team did the Righteous music video, combining real life footage with animation. They said that was a really fantastic idea and would be a great way to combine the animation that everybody loves with real like physical presence of X in these music
they did
videos.
that with Arms Around You, right? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
Yeah,
it was
they
some
did. Yeah,
with some animation
yeah,
with that.
It's
Yeah,
trying
exactly.
to be creative without overkilling and doing the same.
Exactly.
yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
why a lot of people were kind of upset with Chase. Not in the sense that it's a bad music video or that it was a bad song or that people didn't like Ichabod, because I think most people do know who he is. They know he's a part of Members Only. They
No,
know,
they didn't actually. They think he's like this random person that
right?
came through on the verse, and I'm like, he's members
Yeah,
only, his jaws, long
He's
time
tattooed
friend.
X.
exactly. Yeah,
I mean,
Tattoo
X even
artist,
shouts the guy out.
yeah,
you know what I'm
absolutely. And I
saying?
think that
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that, and
They
they
don't.
also miss the fact that it is a Jaw song
right.
that Think About It is featured on, you know, and also that Jaw actually produced that song. That's the first song that he's ever produced, ever. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
I want to go back to something. I want to say this. I mean, have you ever thought about getting someone like a lookalike for X? You ever thought about
I thought about
Did you do
casting
that for
that
the
maybe?
Don't Cry music
I thought
video?
about it, but I think there was a video that Wayne was doing.
Don't Cry.
I feel like would the community hate on that? I feel like they would hate on that for no reason.
Wayne,
I feel like the
Wayne
community would hate on that for no
Wayne was
reason,
doing
and they
something
They would
shouldn't.
initially.
definitely hate
Some kind of
that.
way
Yeah.
that video got out, that a picture got out of it, that it was a
Yeah.
lookalike, and the comments were like crazy, and so that's why we didn't end up going with that.
I think they did
You know,
that for a
so
few Tupac
I got
videos back in the day.
I got a question.
What do you guys think about a hologram?
I think that would be cool.
That would be
I think that would
But
be
I just-
received really badly. To be honest.
Yeah, I personally think it would be cool, but it's one thing you would have to look how the community would view it. You know, like
Yeah,
they
and
just look at everything like a money grab, and all you're
Yeah,
and in a lot of situations, all you're doing is trying to create content.
Everything is a money grab. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Even the
Everything
museum,
is a
the
money
free
grab.
museum.
Yeah, like it was a free museum, 100% free. The other thing was free too. The album release party was free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the albums I put out, Ja had already been paid for those. Like it's not like I went and got money for that. Like he got
Right.
paid for those. Every single thing that I released. So that's why when I see the money grab thing, I'm just like, okay,
Right.
like I
Like you're
don't
gonna get
get
it
it.
regardless. Like there's nothing you can do
Yeah,
to just avoid getting that money. Exactly.
But outside of that, I haven't gotten any money. Those albums are
Right.
all albums he's been paid for. You know what I mean?
Right.
Already. So, you know, I kind of like not pay attention to that. I
Cleo,
don't
you
even-
should repeat that for the people that say you
Absolutely.
milk.
Say it louder for the ones in the
Say,
back.
say it louder. Say it louder. Say that louder because they need to get that in their thick hits.
I'm just fulfilling the obligations. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, my son was a mega superstar, and he always said, "Yo, if I die, my music will live on, and it has to live on, and you cannot stop me." And that is always in my head. And as long as I'm alive, I'm gonna make sure that people remember him. And if I got to keep putting out content and whatever it is that I need to do for his legacy to remain, that's what I'm gonna do. And I don't really care about haters. They're doing their jobs. I'm gonna do mine.
We just got to
Yeah.
keep we just got to make sure the fans are happy.
Of course.
And make sure that the fans are happy.
Yes. All right, next question,
fans are
anyone?
passionate, man.
I got a question.
X's fans are
I got
passionate.
a question too. So basically, my question is, I don't know if it was just a rumor, but I've heard it several times. It can't just be. I heard that there was going to be a live action. I've heard one person say it was confirmed that his live action was coming out on his birthday. Never did. So I don't know if that's actually true. So I'm just curious about that.
A live action?
A live
Elaborate.
action, basically like a documentary about his life, set with cast and everything.
Once again, if you haven't seen us, don't believe rumors when you get it from anybody except the team. If nobody from the team confirm or say anything, you cannot believe rumors at all. People make up the craziest thing. I saw at one point that I was auctioning his hair. You know what I'm saying? I
What?
saw that. Yes, word. I saw that I was dating Lil Uzi Vert. Like the shit that I've seen.
What?
Clickbait.
Wait, you guys don't remember that rumor? You guys don't remember that?
No,
She took
I
she
never
took a
heard
picture
that.
with Uzi, and people were saying that.
Yeah, do us all a favor. Don't take a picture with no more
Yeah.
celebrities,
So
please. You're gonna be
guys,
dating all of them.
so now I'm like terrified to take pictures with anyone.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
it's called clickbait. Don't believe any of that crap. If you don't see us put it out, then chances are it's
Facts.
not true.
That's what I think. I
All right,
figured you
anyone
were gonna say
else?
that, but I just wanted that to be said.
Tramy has another question that he sent to me.
Okay.
He says, "What was your favorite feature to work with while working on Bad Advice Forever? And looking back, what is your own personal opinion on the project? Like your genuine, honest, like
Well,
feelings."
honestly, I
about
think
it?"
we did great. Given the circumstance that Jai is not here, it's very hard for us. I am not a creative at all, right? And for me, I don't want to turn my son's stuff over to a label head or just someone that doesn't know him, that's not with him day to day, doesn't have a clue who he is as a person, who he would want to work with, who he wouldn't want to work with. And so for me, you know, we get together as a team and we put something out, and I think we did an excellent job, regardless of whatever, you know, whoever don't like it. Not everything we do, people are gonna like, and I understand that, and I get that.
I
But I
mean,
think
not
we did
everything
very-
X did people liked. I mean,
Exactly.
like,
He got it too. He got it too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I
like,
think, given the circumstance, I think we did an excellent job.
Absolutely. Okay, and then so Kaz right here is saying he wants like an estimate on how many. I mean, this is probably something that you aren't allowed to speak on, but he's asking anyways. He wants to know how many, just like a rough estimate of how much X material we'll have left after the documentary, because he said that for like Pop Smoke,
you don't have
Peep,
to answer
Juice,
that
they'll have
question if you
like
don't want to, Cleo.
yeah,
The
yeah, of
exact
course. Like
amount.
if that's some.
We definitely can't speak on that. But what were you saying about Pop Smoke?
He was saying this guy saying that because like for Pop Smoke, Peep, and Juice, like they have a number, like a rough estimate that's been confirmed. But for X's like leftover material, we don't know kind of even like a little estimate of how much we can expect in the future.
Yeah. John, that's all you, baby.
yeah, it's gonna stay that way.
Okay. That's good. I mean, that's some that
I kind of like to keep it.
Yeah, he didn't. He never spoke on that.
Like that, right?
Yeah, and the reason I say that is, you know, I mean, obviously, like for all the artists you mentioned, I mean, every artist's creative process is very different, and I know from being around Bibby and from speaking to Juice's team, he was the type of guy to record 4 songs a day, and maybe one of them would end up being released, and the other 3 exist. However, Ja, for a question mark, which ended up being an 18-song album, we recorded maybe like 20 songs, right? Like maybe 20 songs. Yeah, and he was very deliberate in his creative process. He would never finish anything unless he A, knew it was fire, B, knew it was going to end up on an album. And so, you know, the number is probably, you know, multitudes lower than those other artists, but at the same time, like the number changes because, you know, if there's a lost song from 2015 that we have no idea how to get, but someone comes out of nowhere and says, you know, hey, I was your neighbor back in 2016.
Yeah.
Here's the CD. Here's a literal like physical CD that has those early recordings on it, which is something that's happened recently. Then the number changes, and so you know, without wanting to A, like inflate people's expectations, or B, diminish those expectations, I think it's better to just not answer that question.
Absolutely.
Cleo, I think you should address the documentary, like speak on like how COVID has affected that or whatever.
Yeah, the documentary. So we were obviously pushed back because of COVID, majorly. But you guys should expect it next year sometime, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
If they don't shut us down again.
Right. Another thing, Cleo. I speak to a lot of his fans. One thing they talk about is releasing the lost tapes, like you know, without redoing them, like the lost tapes.
I hear you guys, and I definitely want to oblige you guys.
Like make just release the whole tape, the lost tapes. Like that's what we call them, the lost tapes, man.
The lost tapes, all of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's what people want to see.
I'll break it down the way he had it, exactly how it was. I won't change anything, and I'm trying to
unfiltered. That'll be so beautiful.
Yeah, because if I
I
could
want to
speak,
track down the producers and all of that stuff, and then I'll get that out to you
Wow,
guys.
that's gonna be beautiful if that happens,
absolutely.
man. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
what
people are.
other music videos, guys? I need a list. Give me more of what music videos you guys want to see. So far, we have Triumph, Fade to Black, X Bitch. What about 17? Would 17 be dope? What about the older stuff? Anything from Question Mark? I know Hope. Somebody told me to do Hope video.
That's my favorite song, actually, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Juggles,
I think
that's a great song.
Spending a lot of time. I'm an admin on the Reddit. I've spent a lot over 2 years with this community, and I think as a general statement from what I've heard and from what I see in people, is that for the older projects, for the ones that he did while he was alive, that they would not want any more music videos. But I do think there is a lot of questions and a lot of requests for maybe singles that were released or skins music. A lot of people are talking about Train Food. What are you so afraid of? Whoa.
Wait, hold on, slow down. I'm writing this down.
Would be a crazy video. That would be a cool video.
Train Food was crazy, but I think it would mess a lot of people up. Because I'm just thinking about
you're right.
I'm thinking about it, and that
just like out of order.
Yeah, that would definitely mess people up, I think.
This made me sad.
Train Food, what else?
Train Food, Whoa, and What Are You So Afraid Of are generally the 3 most requested because there's already the music video for Bad and for 1 Minute, and so we already have those. So the 3 that are not having music videos that people request is Whoa, Train Food, and What Are You So Afraid Of.
What about from 17?
As I said just a minute ago, I think most fans are kind of in agreement that they don't want any more music videos for things that X made while he was alive, or that X released while he was alive. Like they don't want any 17 or Question Mark videos.
Okay.
But in the future, if you release anything from his SoundCloud music, they would definitely be loving to see like music videos for that. Like if you have any plans to release, say, I'm sipping tea in your hood, like people would love to see a music video for that going forward.
Okay.
The lost tapes. We need those.
Exactly, the lost tapes.
And what do you guys think about like a festival, like an X Day or Generation X or something like that?
I think there needs to be an X Day.
Yeah.
That sounds big facts.
We've actually had our own like X Day here a few times. Like I would bring people here, and this is we've done this like every year. I would bring people here, and we would listen to music, and we would have like so many people here. We would listen to music, talk about them, post pictures. And we have our own little day called X Day. There needs to be an X Day.
You guys all in agreement with doing the hologram?
Yeah.
So that's something that I actually wanted to bring back up. In terms of the hologram, because like the Tupac hologram. Something that happened a while back. I can't remember if it was 2018 or 2019. But there was the leaked footage of a hologram being made of X showed on stage somewhere. We don't exactly know where.
It looked great, actually.
It did, but it wasn't. But it wasn't from you guys.
I sent that to you, Cleo.
No, it wasn't from us. So here's the thing. So I had inquired about it with a few companies, and that company did that, I think, just to try to advertise for themselves. Yeah, they just try to show what they could do, and I guess they were trying to force our hands to kind of go with them. Like it was hologram.
It looked pretty good. I'm just saying.
I don't think so at all.
You don't think so, really? I thought it looked great.
In comparison to, have you seen Michael Jackson's in Vegas?
No, but I saw Tupac. Tupac was looking crazy at Coachella.
For sure.
Yeah.
I saw that one.
So everybody here feels like that would be a good thing.
I think, especially, if it comes from you guys and it's, announced
what about
by
an
you guys
anime
and
series?
Oh, a what?
Anime series.
Oh,
I don't think there's a single soul on this planet that would say no to that. I think everybody's kind of.
Hey, wait, I have a question in regards to that, Cleo.
Hey.
We know that X was a gamer and he liked anime. Have any like studios or developers contacted you guys in like questions of using his music, like in the soundtrack, or what do you guys think about that? Like,
if you could speak on it, speak on it.
That's a Solomon question.
We're definitely open to that. However, a lot of studios and anime people, haven't reached out to us yet. We've actively been trying to, source it and trying to figure out what's the best way to kind of deliver it to you guys. But we definitely have something like that available because, we know how much he championed that stuff and we know how much you guys champion it as well. So we kind of wanted to make sure that it's all together and, packaged properly and delivered properly to you guys. So I think it's just going to take a little bit more time to get there, but I think we'll definitely get there.
I want to throw out this idea, and we know X loved action figures and all that. I think there needs to be an X action figure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
something
Wow.
We actually talked about that earlier.
Yeah, great minds think alike.
Yo, hey, Cleo should make a Netflix original in inspiration of X. That's what I think. That would be fire.
Definitely.
Could I ask a question?
We want a Cleo. We
What
want a
is that
Cleo
question?
action figure.
I'm
too.
sorry, what did you say?
Nova,
said
repeat
you should
yourself,
make a
Nova.
Netflix original on inspired by X. That would be funny and amazing at the same time.
Okay. Hey, Potato, ask your question.
It's like a joint question for both Cleo and John. What are your favorite X songs? Like, what is your favorite X song?
Well, I love Slipknot.
Yeah, I was going to say
We're both
that.
looking.
I love Slipknot
we're
because
both
he
looking
has
at each
that
other.
verse dedicated to me in there.
Yeah.
And I actually cried when he made me hear that song.
Oh.
So that was big for me.
Yeah.
And I like, bitch, I am up. Bitch, I am up. Like, I wish I would have an alarm clock that plays that in the morning when I get up. That would be so fire.
That's funny.
That's cool.
I have so many favorites, though. Like,
I know that's the type of question where you ask it, and then me
Yeah.
and Cleo both look at each
looking at
other
each other
like,
I'm
how are we gonna
stuck
pick one?
because I have
Yeah.
so many favorites.
Like for me,
sorry.
Yes.
well, I was just gonna say for me, like I have to split them into two groups because like there's a lot of songs we made together that I love and I listen to over and over and over again. But those, I think part of the reason I listen to those is because the memories I have associated with those songs are so amazing, and so those are kind of the usual suspects like Sad and Moonlight and Changes. And I remember him figuring out his piano part for Changes. And like he was singing the notes to himself and then guessing where they would be on the piano. And the moment he figured that out, he kind of looked at me, and I'm like never gonna forget the way his face looked when he looked at me. But the other group of songs is like songs he made before I ever knew him, and so in that category, like there's a lot to pick from. But the ones I listen to the most are Teeth and Never. And
I like Elephant in the Room too. That's
that song's amazing.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And I Don't Want to Do This Anymore.
That's my favorite.
That was the
I like
first
I Spoke to the
song.
Devil in Miami too.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, but that like for me, I Don't Want to Do This Anymore was the first song of his that I heard on his SoundCloud because he had pinned that at the top when I found out about him in like early 2017. And so that song's always going to kind of hold like its own unique place inside of me.
Yeah. Oh, wait, guys, before I forget. So we're doing a documentary and we wanted to do something where we have fans submit any photos they have or videos they have that they have not yet put out on the internet. And, basically we're going to pick from those and you're going to have a chance to be in the documentary. And of course you will be credited. So that's one thing that we're going to announce too as well to kind of get the fans involved.
Absolutely. Basically, we'll have a bunch of fans like basically submit their videos, whatever content that they have involved in X, and we'll be working with a bunch of archival specialists with our partner for the documentary, and hopefully we can handpick a few of you guys to help go through the footage, and we can kind of just source everything so we're able to kind of present Ja in the light that most people outside of his core fan base aren't really used to seeing him. You guys, in addition to us, were able to kind of see him in a way that the rest of the world didn't get to see. So we really want that footage to be able to show his kind side, to show his nice side, to show how giving and wonderful he was and how he treated his fans and all the other great stuff that, is, we can say it, but it's different when people see it with actual visuals. So it's going to be really important. And for you guys, it's great because you get to be a part of the history, which is his documentary.
Facts. Okay. Any more questions?
Yeah, I
Okay,
have one actually.
come on.
Hey, let's take about maybe 3 more questions so Cleo can get out of here. But
Ooh,
unless she has more
okay.
time, but I'm sure she has some things to do.
I was gonna ask, like, what's going on with your artist, Destiny Mariah? Because I really like that Aggravated song, but she hasn't released anything since then. So I was wondering if if there's anything coming up, or if you would consider like X-related stuff with her. Because
Well, first of all, I don't want to get fried with that, so that's off the table for sure.
I was.
I would
I
definitely
figured.
get fried with that. So no. Aggravated, she had that song way before she became our artist, so I have nothing to do with that. But we are working on her project, and
she's basically been hard at work. She's made some incredible records with Oak, and Oak is a really world-renowned producer, great producer. He's done like a bunch of the Kalani stuff, a bunch of great things. Ariana Grande, and now she's creating more records and just trying to really just get the understanding of who she wants to be as an artist and just how she wants to position herself as an artist. That's really where she is now. And as soon as her music is done, we're going to be really excited just to share it with the world.
All right.
Can't wait. That song is great.
Question?
So
Next question.
excited to see what she comes up with.
Sure.
Could I-
Somebody. Oh, you can.
Potato?
You can go.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can go first.
Okay, this is a question from somebody else. This is a question from Joe. He said, today during the AMA, you guys said that you guys are working on a multitude of features in the future, and you suggested an idea, but the team said it wasn't right, or like the right time or the right song, and you guys are thinking about how to make it work. And he wants to know if there's any way that you can legally or just personally speak on if any of these features that people just asked you earlier today, like Uzi, Weekend, etc., can you give any confirmation as to if those are in the works or if those are coming out?
that's a John. That's you.
I mean, that's an answer that's best addressed in a case-by-case situation. So, like with Lil Uzi, for example, I remember we were all at the house and we were playing him skins, and we all had agreed that, out of everyone who showed this outpouring of support after Ja died, Uzi really kind of was singular in the sense that he actually like showed up for you and played basketball with Aiden and was really there. And
he was there.
and that has not wavered at all. But the reason I really kind of want to make this story public was that, I want people to know we're not just accepting anybody who like comes to the table and asks to get on a song. Uzi had asked to get on a specific song that we all looked at each other and kind of agreed, like, X made it pretty clear that he didn't want somebody on this song. And no matter if that's Uzi or The Weeknd or whoever it would be, we don't want to break that intention that he had. And so we all we talked to Uzi and it's like, hey, we love the idea of doing a song with you, but it can't be that song. And he said, okay, I completely understand, and let's find the right song at the right time. And so with him, that's something that we both parties still want to do. It's just about making it happen the right way. When it comes to any future features, I think we're all looking at each other and agreeing that it's about quality over quantity. And for the few artists that he did mention wanting to work with, we want to make those happen. But the question of if they're going to happen is something that's partially out of our control, and sometimes even out of that other artist's control, because it's
they're signed to a label and the label is not with it.
Exactly. So I hope that clears that up.
That's good insight.
Sure.
Okay,
And,
Potato, you can ask your question. Then after that, Cleo, if you want to address anything else, you can. What was that, sir?
Allergic says something.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Allergic.
Oh, I was just gonna let Potato speak first because I've got a few like responses to what you said and how I think this community will react to it, kind of thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my question was surrounding slightly after X's passing, I heard loads of rumors about how he was hoping or planning to go on tour or like go to other countries and like perform and stuff. And obviously now that's not possible. Would there be any form of like opportunities, whether that's like online or I don't know, something where
Yeah,
X
you're
fans
right.
who are
He was planning on traveling, and so that's why we're coming up the concept of doing the hologram. We just want to know if that's something that you guys will want to see or not.
100%.
I don't think, honestly, how I see there would be negative reactions. There's so much more positive reactions. Like, why not do a hologram tour? A lot of people would have something like that to the heart. It'll mean a lot to them compared to the people who aren't real fans that are complaining. You should just be happy that there's a tour in general in his name. That's how
People
I
just
see it.
gotta stop worrying about other people's money.
Yeah.
Because for someone like
That's
me
what it comes down
who
to.
lives in the UK, who's like a massive X fan, who's never had the opportunity to like go to America to like see him, and obviously he wasn't able to come here, to have a hologram to at least like witness is still pretty crazy in itself, I think. And I feel like a lot of people would still be down for that, even if it wasn't necessarily him.
Regardless, an experience is an experience. You know what I mean? People went to see X's, you know, his grave. You know what I mean? He wasn't really there, but he was there at the same time. You
And
go
not
to
only
see a
that too,
hologram, he's not there, but he's there at the same time.
imagine all the fans like mourning him, being there, celebrating him. I think that would be a moment and an experience, just like Potato said.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully it's one of those things that the community accepts. I mean, as you can see, there's people that want it, and there's people that don't. You know, we just got to get the community to open up about certain things. Yeah, I think you guys have made a few mistakes, but in reality, I think you guys did a great job with what you were left with. But there were some mistakes. People just got to stop jumping on the hate bandwagon for every little thing.
But that's the only time they talk. That's what I said earlier.
Right. That's when they're the loudest.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think I could just piggyback off of what Dom's saying. You guys have been doing an amazing job because at the end of the day, there's a million fans, but there's only how many of you guys trying to satisfy everyone?
And not only that too. Let me say this. Listen, X had a GOAT mind. How can you expect anyone to replicate his mind? The guy is like one of one. You know what I mean? You can only try. Like you can only try to do what you think he wanted. You know. And also too, one thing I tell Cleo all the time. A lot of you guys may not have had a chance to speak to X, you know, but I did, right? Now, the conversation I had with X is going to be different than the conversation that you may have had with him or that person or whatever. Like, X is like so layered where he really doesn't have the same conversation with everyone. So he may have told this person one thing, this person another about something else. And, you know, people just got to stop pretending that they know what he wants, especially when you never had a conversation with him.
Absolutely.
You know. And even me being someone that have had a conversation with him, I never pretend that I know exactly what he wants. I don't know, you know.
Right.
Cleo, is there anything else you would like to address or say or whatever, or you think we're done here? I think we've done a great job.
Any more questions?
There's three short ones that people have been sending me in. If you guys didn't mind answering. So the first one was a snippet leaked a while back about X making a remake to Kid Cudi's song "Edge of the Earth," and somebody wanted to know, like, was X a fan of Cudi at all, and how did that even come about? If you can speak on that.
Yeah, I remember he made that while I was living with him, and he was a big fan of Cudi. Like, I remember when Kanye and Cudi put out that tape together. I remember listening to that for the first time with X, and you know, while he was a really, really big fan of Kanye as well, I mean, I remember hearing that with him and him being like, damn, Cudi's a genius. And, you know, that word like kind of stuck with me. And, you know, I never really thought too much about it, but I remember one of the last conversations we had, I was in Los Angeles and he had FaceTimed me and he was like, listen to this. And he played me that song that he was working on. And yeah, it was a remix of that Kid Cudi song. And, you know, we have plans for that. That obviously we don't and really just can't talk about right now, but I think that's something that people should hear, even though it is in an unfinished state. I think that you know, if there's anything to be had between those two artists, I think that would make Ja really happy.
For sure. All right, and then there's two small ones left that I have. The first one is somebody asked is there any merch drops coming in the near future? People who really want to see some new merch, because a lot of people enjoyed the Revenge Tour merch. I'd say most of us really, really enjoyed the designs and how that came out, and we want to know if there's anything in the future.
Yes.
I'm so sad I didn't get a sweater.
In the next. Who didn't get a sweater?
I didn't get a sweater. Mo,
Okay,
I'm so
take that person's info so I can get him.
All right, I got you. I'll give you his info. Oh my God, you screaming like a girl.
It's
I'm about to cry right now.
In here right now, info so I can send them sweaters personally from yours truly.
What?
Right.
Oh
Thank you. You're got it.
Hey, I don't
Alright.
have the sweater either, Dom. I don't have one.
All right.
Okay, everybody, sweaters, water bottles, exclusive shit. Get their info so I can.
All
send
right.
them.
Well, I got you, Cleo. We'll get everyone taken care of.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
And their Instagram too, so I can follow them on IG.
All right. Dang, you guys are getting the golden treatment.
Hey, wait.
Damn it.
Yo, wait, Cleo. Wait, quick question, Cleo. Are people that follow you on Instagram, we're able to comment on your posts, right? Or
Yes,
no?
everybody that have access to me can comment on my posts. Yes.
Okay, but unless they don't follow you, okay.
Can you follow me on MySpace?
No, only if I follow them, they can comment.
Yeah,
on
because I always see your
you
posts.
guys.
I know. Yes, that's what I meant. Like, because I always want to leave you love in the comments and I can't. That's what I was referring to.
I have to be following you, but I'll be following you guys, so you guys will be able to.
That's good.
We're all putting our Instagrams in this chat here, so it should all be available.
I'll get everything from you guys and I'll get it to Cleo. Don't worry, guys.
Okay, perfect.
All right. What's that last question, man?
The last question. So, Dom had selected the 8 of us to come in here and ask you guys questions, and all of us want to know, since all of us here kind of represent the X community in some form or another, we were chosen, we were supported by people inside the community to be chosen. We want to know if this is something that we might have recurring, or that if you guys would like to talk to us in the future about this stuff and have like a recurring thing.
You guys are going to be my little A&Rs.
Awesome.
Bad Vibes Forever A&Rs, and I would like to know what you guys think with upcoming stuff. You might even get to hear little snippets of stuff and preview of clothing and whatever else, just to get feedback from you guys, because you guys know the generation more than I ever could, and what can speak to what you think they would want to see from X.
That's awesome.
And so yes, it will be a reoccurring thing.
Awesome, thank you. And I think that's everybody's questions answered.
Wait, can I give a few recommend suggestions about the music videos, because you said you wanted some feedback about that. So I think there's only a handful of tracks from Bad Vibes Forever that would be received positively if you do a music video. So X Bitch, Triumph, Attention, It's All Fade to Black, and maybe Limbo. I'd say those are the ones that the fan favorites that people would like to see, really.
Okay.
Right.
Why?
I'll have you guys write those down and we'll give them to Cleo. But go and answer that. You got them? Good.
Yeah.
Great.
I want to end this with that. Cleo, thank you for coming here, blessing us. I'm glad that I can connect Cleo with the community. I think the people that I selected are great. You guys did a great job. Even my staff, you guys are great as well. Thank you. And Cleo, John, Solomon, thank you. What'd you say, Nova?
A quick excerpt. Can I put a quick excerpt before she goes though? Before everybody goes.
You want to play? Sure. You want to play a song? Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so no, not a song. I said say a quick excerpt. So basically, I normally do this during big discussions. Say something nice and heartwarming. So at the end of the day, I think everybody who supports X, you know what I mean. At the end of the day, everybody in this channel is a legacy to him. You know what I mean. He's his own legacy, but we help him push it. I also want to say thank you. I just also want to say, thank you to Cleo for taking your time to come to the server, and also, giving birth to such a prophet.
Oh, that's nice.
At the end of the day,
anyone else?
This server, at the end of the day, this server, a lot of us are inspired by your son. You've made an inspiration, and that makes you an inspiration in yourself. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much. I love you
If
guys. That was so nice.
If I can kind of piggyback off of that a little bit, of course, thank you. And from an artist standpoint, based on what you're doing, because I make music too, like I know my mama wouldn't know what to do if I had died. So it's just like
Right, and that's what I always tell people.
Well, thank you for
you're
saying that.
doing such a good job of
Thank you.
doing what you see best, and I genuinely appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
If I could say something, X really helped basically everyone in this voice chat right now. He's helped us through a lot of rough times, especially me. I've been through a lot of shit. Everyone's been through a lot of shit. I'd like to say thank you for giving birth to X. And thank you for keeping on
a rapper and a doctor at the same time.
You guys gonna make Cleo cry, man. But that's good it's good to see like people are giving her love, man. This is the kind of stuff she deserves, bro. There's so many haters out there that don't understand her, and this is why I wanted to put her in a position like this so people can see she's a human. You know what I mean? And she is a good person.
Like, I remember when you were talking about it, how you always say people are bashing her, and that always upset me, right? So I wanted to make sure that when she came in here, I ended it off so she knows that, she's appreciating the community. True, everybody else is bashing her. At the end of the day, it's like I said before, there's a million fans, but imagine how hard it is with a small team or a team that's just slowly growing. You know what I mean? So I give all of you guys credit. You, John, everybody.
Thank you.
So thank you for all that.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Right. Thank you, Cleo. You have a great day. Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everyone, thank
guys,
Cleo.
stay safe.
All right.
Thank
you, John. Thank you, Cleo. Thank you, Solomon. All right. Y'all take it easy.
All right.
All right. Bye, Cleo. All right. Anyway, man, I thought that went great. That went great, man.
That was good.
She's so nice.
She is, isn't she?
Cleo was so nice, bro.
Told you guys, man. She everything I ever told you guys she was. I told you. That and more, right?